You need to focus on what and let the house come to you. Let them take care of themselves. You keep driving through with your intentions, because thoughts become things. Hey everyone, so lately I've been doing some videos which are focusing on the old, focusing on the systems on the planet that need to change. And I feel like it kind of goes against what I say, because I always tell people, if you want change, you have to focus your attention on the new, all of it, on building the new. You can't focus on the old. But I've had the feeling recently that lots of people who could be focusing on building the new, unfortunately, were getting caught up on focusing on the old. So that's why I've made those videos, so I can hopefully so some people could see them and say, okay, so that's why it's like that. I don't need to look at that anymore, and start focusing on the solutions. So, as I say, you can't bring about change, and we all want change. I think people who are watching me, most people watching me, want change. You can't bring about the change by focusing on the old. You have to direct your thoughts and intentions. Yeah, you need your focus to be on the new. And there's many reasons for that, because, you know, as we set our intentions in life and as we focus on the things that we want and we use our imagination, it is stimulated and it grows and it progresses based on what you're focusing on. Let's call it thoughts attracting thoughts, or let's just, if you're more laterally minded, let's just call it that if you're going down a certain thought process or thought train, you're not going to lead to thoughts for the solution if you're focusing on the old rubbish that isn't serving you and making you feel bad. So as you open your mind into a more creative space, where you look at the problems and you say, something needs doing, then you can start using your mind to imagine the solutions to those problems. And you have to do that in a certain way. You have to set your intention and your focus. You have to. As humans, it is our job to set our imagination, our intention, our focus, our thoughts on what we want. It's a task of ours. This is the main task for a human in life, is to manage their thoughts and to focus their intentions toward that which they wish to see. And if you struggle to understand the importance of holding focus on a thought, look around you within the human world we live in. And you look around, especially if you're living in a city or in a town. It's more evident there, but even here where I live, out in the middle of nowhere, it's evident. So look around you and work out inside your house, what didn't begin with a thought? You might have a TV, a chair, a table, a carpet, a painted wall, a house. It all began with a thought inside someone's head. Or it began with a thought and an intention. The very creation of the ideas of something like a chair began as a thought in someone's head. Thoughts become things. Whether you look at that metaphysically or you look at that physically and laterally, thoughts become things. So what you have to do is focus on things that are going to solve problems that you see around you. And as you do, you will begin to create. It's almost written as a universal law that it will happen. So as I look around me here, when I arrived here, there was a house and a kitchen. There was no fence around the land, and we had a small amount of We have a small forest of sorts on the land as well. And I began to see problems. So I saw that there were problems with the children. I began to see the children needed food, they needed school fees, they needed clothing, they needed shoes, they needed medical care. So I set my intention and I said, this is what is needed, and I focused on that. I didn't focus on the sadness which was those problems and living inside them, because it is sad. You can imagine waking up every day, you see children without shoes and children without food, and it's sad. But if you're the sort of human who's going to focus on that and sit in your room crying, you're going to get nothing done and you're not going to help anybody. You have to climb out of the effect it has on yourself, because believe me, it might be sad for me to watch, but it's 1,000 times sadder for the people that are living in it. That much I know. And it's the same for all problems on the planet. It's good to cry and it's good to get upset, but if you see a problem in the world and it upsets you and you cry and you do nothing about it, you need to find the ability to climb out of yourself. You need to empathise with the person you're crying for, because I guarantee 9 times out of 10 it's worse for them than it is for you. It's worse for the person experiencing the poverty and the sadness and the pain and the suffering than it is for the person observing it and feeling emotionally torn by what they're witnessing. It's from that sadness that you can stimulate creation. So you hold an intention, as I did, and I set an intention. I had no idea how I would solve the problem. I didn't know. And I opened a Facebook page to bring Christmas here. Because as a child growing up, Christmas was a huge thing for me. My mother is Christmas mad. And the magic of that time of year was something I want to share. And I wanted to share that here because I saw it missing from some of the children. That magic, that feeling that we all get at Christmas time when we were a child. Where you take away the mundane and you say, wow, something amazing might go on. Magic. To believe in magic is a beautiful thing, and those who don't believe in magic will never find it, in the words of Roald Dahl, a very favourite saying of mine. So I opened that page and I had no realisation back then what was happening. And when the page was finished, I said, wow, there's 300 people have liked this page. But now it's just going to go to waste because there's not going to be Christmas again. So on the 1st of January 2014, I changed the page's name to Uchira Children's Fund instead of Uchira's First Christmas. And I said, there's a girl here called Esther and she's talented, she has ability, but her family, they can't afford to send her to school. Can anyone help her? And someone said yes. And I said, wow, that was good, that worked. So I said to myself, okay, I'll put another child up there. And I did, and someone said yes. And it built from there, and it built, and I added payment systems. I didn't have PayPal even back then. I didn't have any of this stuff, and I just kept adding. People were paying standing order to the charity account, and it built and built and built. But because I just kept my intention and focus on what. Not on how, on what. And the how took care of itself. It was hard work, and there was a lot of difficulties and a lot of things I had to learn along the way. I had to learn how to build a website and all this stuff that I never understood before doing this. But it's because I held my intention and I allowed my imagination to run wild. I allowed the magic that I believe that we can see. If we believe when we look that we can see it, then it will come to you. And if you're a skeptic and you can't see it, you need to get rid of the Gestapo of your mind, which is the prefrontal cortex. Be it in meditation, exercise, I don't know, something to change, to alter you. There's got to be a way. If you've got to find a way, you've got to find a way. So I carried on with that same mindset as I do in my life, where you hold on to the intention of what? And how's got nothing to do with you. It's not your business. And that's what I've done again. I saw the dogs suffering. I said, okay, what needs to be done? We need an animal rescue shelter. I knew nothing about having an animal rescue shelter. I just love dogs. I've had dogs as a child. So I did it again, special needs community. I said, well, what needs to be done? I don't understand. Well, what's not up to me? So I said, okay, I'm going to solve this problem. But I couldn't attract the what. I just couldn't. It wouldn't come. So the universe said, don't worry, when you're asleep, I'll take care of it. I had a dream that I was building small houses with a lady I know who cares for special needs children. Now as I stand here, a few metres behind me, we're building a bigger house for the special needs community. We have one house built already. We have a second one being built. I have 2 girls who can't speak and can't walk who are probably coming to live with us in a few days. I have Esther here, cerebral palsy child. What is up to you? How is not. So if I was bungling around on the land saying, how do I do it? How do I get the money? How do I build this house? How do I help these children? I wouldn't do it. You need to focus on what and let the house come to you. Let them take care of themselves. You keep driving through with your intentions because thoughts become things. And as I said earlier at the beginning of the video, look around you. Name one thing in your room that didn't start with a thought. Even yourself. Started as a twinkle in your mother and father's eye at some point. Thoughts become things. So learn to manage your thoughts. Learn to control them. Learn to direct them. And when humanity takes control of its thoughts and stops letting the system and entertainment and mobile phones and the internet and mainstream media take control of their thoughts, then humanity can start creating and manifesting a world that can serve us all instead of the minority that are putting out the media and the TV. And if you don't understand that, let's put it this way, whoever chooses the TV programs today, if you talk about it tomorrow at work, they know what you're going to talk about. So they've got control of what you're going to think about and discuss. And as I've proven with my life, your thoughts and intentions and your words become things. Then what are you going to create by discussing something that another man wants you to discuss? You're going to create more of what they want you to create. You're going to create the system. You're going to add to the system and fuel it. There's a problem here, there's a problem there. And you're going to bring yourself into this awful position where you're confused and you're saying, oh, what's going on with the world? Instead of just saying, there's a problem here. My intention is to solve it. I don't know how, but I'm just going to keep intending. And the problems will be solved around you like magic. And if you're not metaphysical, then just look at it in the logical sense. As I say, you can't build a chair without intending, holding on to the thought that you're going to build a chair. If you lack focus, you might not build the chair. You might build a little bit and give up. Focus, intention. This is the power of change from humanity. And this, if you look at mainstream media and how mainstream technology pulls you away from that, in the most part, you might start to understand why you need to take a step back from that stuff. And why you need to start opening up your minds and your imagination. And as I've mentioned in other videos, allowing light from different sources to come to you. Light from all over the universe travels to this planet, goes into your eyes and sends messages through photons to the pineal gland in your brain. If you watch a TV, you're not going to get that light. You're not going to get the message. If you look up, you'll get the message. If you just go outside and walk in nature, you'll get the message. It'll reflect to you, it'll bounce to you from the trees, from the sky, through the clouds, from the sun. And inside those messages that your pineal receives might very well be the idea that's going to change lives or change the planet or change the world as you want to see it. And you will never see change unless you be the change, as Gandhi said. And if you be the change you want to see in the world, if we all be the change we want to see in the world, and we all seem, in my eyes, the vast majority of us, people who speak to me online, etc., to want equality and to want love and to want peace, then we'll get it. We'll get it. But you need to set your intention, open up your imagination, and stop worrying about how, and focus on what. And let the hows take care of themselves. And if you struggle to understand that, then that's all I've ever done. And I now have 315 children in the Children's Fund. Because I saw a problem, and instead of worrying about how, because it looked impossible to tackle, I focused on what. And when I first got here, sometimes I thought, how can I help thousands of children? It can't be done. What's the point in even starting? But now I'm on 305. I've got this feeling inside me where I said, you know what, 2-3 years, I could have 1,000 children in there. It's a step. It's a step in the right direction. Yeah. And it fills me with hope. And I think hope is something humanity is lacking. And hope is something we need. So, switch off your mainstream media. Step away from your technology. Get out in nature and start setting your intention. And the intention I set to this universe was, let me be of my highest good. And I suggest everybody else sets the same intention. And then the hows, if they come to your mind, learn not to give attention to them and go back to let me be my highest good. Show me how to do that. And the universe will show you. It'll help you get there. So, okay. Right. That's my little nighttime musing. Set your intention. Look to the world and believe that there's magic out there. And get away from the media so you can use your imagination freely. And let's find out what it is we can all build collectively. If I can build what I've built here from nothing without any money, then I know that everybody out there can do the same. And I know that most people out there feel the same as I do in my heart. That they want to live in a planet where equality comes before materiality. So, okay.
Want to change the world, but nothing to it. There is no life I know that compares with pure imagination. What you'll find when